Hello and welcome, as today is the 15th day of March 2018. It is also that of Crypto Day. Every day is such, at least until it's not. Okay, what have I been buying? What have I been selling over the last 16 hours? I'm going to go over as much of it as I can. There is a lot to go over. I want to spend a decent amount of time with the code THC. I'll talk about that next. So some of them won't get that much time at all. USD BTC is the invert of Bitcoin. You take 1 divided by this number, you'll get the Bitcoin price. I ended up entering this position at the price area between 10,000 and 11,000. I probably could have bought more. I invested noticeably under 1% of my portfolio on such, which is higher than most of my plays that I have, but you know, it's really hard to bet against the price of Bitcoin, especially when I kind of do so in my hedge on selling on strength, and even at different times for using it as currency, using it as a method of trade, especially when buying physical silver. That is the ultimate hedge risk that I have. But I do have some trades in this, and I bought in between 10 and 11. It came up to this point in here, and I hit the top around the 12,000 number as I calculated what I figured Bitcoin was going to go to, and it did. I got my buyback when it came down to this range. And then the second time, I didn't want to sell at that level. Instead, I wanted to sell. I had under 13,000, like 12,980 something. I sold here, and I'll buy that back if it goes somewhere lower. But I have higher sell orders available in case that 3,000 that I talk about occurs. Yeah, I got some buy orders in at around 33,000 on here. That is the 3,000 handle. Again, I don't want to spend too much time with this. I got a lot to go over. Let's look next at THC. And when I talked about this before, I said a lot about this. Basically, on the way down, I'm like, yeah, I can wait longer. I wanted to get in on this when this was 1620. Well, I wanted to get on this when this was up to 2,600, but I sure as heck wasn't going to do so then. But I realized, man, I think this has got to come down big. Where's it going to come down to? And I figured that between 500 and 1,000 was the area. So I bought when it pierced above this 1,000 on around the 28th of February. And then it goes up a bit, but down she goes more. And I stayed around 750. I'd buy small, but only small. Basically, just a little bit more to make it so if I want to, I can sell on any decent moves, maybe up to about 1,100 or whatnot. However, I think there might be a decent chance that this could even go down to 5. Now, 550 or 60, I think it's 560 area, is a level of major resistance, which is what I'd be looking for as support. This is the resistance back in here. It's also, again, that key Fibonacci line. Now, this chart does not do justice for how THC really looks. So I have to take the Bittrex code here, or the Bittrex chart rather, and display it on the screen. This looks much nicer. I can draw trend lines, so let's do it, because this is on MS Paint. I have the availability to easily do such. Okay, so not too much further. The 500 handle. Well, generally speaking, what I want to see have happen is for it to hold and stay above key areas like it did last year. So let me show you the analysis in such a manner. And what we'll do is we'll take a look at 2016, where the price action managed to resist roughly around this point in here. But what we can see that had happened is it stayed and held above that resistance. Heck, if it would have stayed and held above here, that would have been magnificent in itself. But that would have been the must hold. So then after it supported a level of resistance from its previous year, it would thus establish a new ceiling or a new level of resistance. So it has done so right where she stands now at around the 750 mark. And therefore, I really want to see it hold and stay above these key points. And 500 is key resistance, but these numbers really fall down to even 330 for where I really would like to see the lower end of this price action come down towards. Because it's already came back to where it came from. It's done the minimum you would think it would need to do such. And even at still, or even still within this, from its long-term perspective, from point A, which is the early lows of its entirety, this is point A to point B, this here is a half-assed correction. From point A to point B, it's a good correction. But from point A to point B, a move back down to 500 would be a good correction. Let's move on to the next code. And this is OK Cash. And again, this chart doesn't serve justice for its long-term view. But with that being stated, I really don't need the Bittrex chart for analysis for what I need. For these two Fibonacci levels have been magnificent support and resistance. But as I was stating before, that you have a situation where you have this move in here, and I want to take a look on the daily because it shows it better because it's the failed breakout on it. Yeah. So there's your move lower, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then we see it's resisting a bit, has a move trying to get above it, is unable to support the line, and has thus fallen below. So a small buy has been made for me, a continuation rather, when I already own something. If I own 100 units and the price goes down an OK percent, then I'm going to want to buy 30 more. Something like 30% of what I have, something like that. Unless I'm at a big level. So a THC, the 750 was that, a 30% buy more. But if THC goes down to 500, I'm going to put a larger size buy, as would be the case here if price action goes down to 757. And even before, I mean, I'm going to buy again at around 1300, but whatever I got, I'll buy 30% or so of what I have. But it'd be about 1300-ish as far as its next buy. Now, within these codes, when you look at them, sometimes you just got to go through the weight. Or if we go back in time, and you're like, man, I want to get in this. This is doing so damn good, but I want it to come back down. So, okay, you buy some at 3,000. Maybe you sell here. If you did, you could buy back. If not, oh well. But it goes down more. What a long wait. Your portfolio goes down and you buy more. Your OK Cash goes up. But here's a spot where you could sell a bit, buy back. See, when you have situations where markets keep going down and you keep buying on the way down, then what's going to happen is your portfolio is going to be getting destroyed and your altcoin holdings are going to be rising. The opposite happens when something like this happens. Your altcoins, well, they will start to go down. But your portfolio, what's the opposite of it getting destroyed? It's getting energized. It's increasing. It's inflating. That's what you want. Because in here, it was great to be able to sell at 3,800, we'll say, or 35, or whichever number you chose, and then buy it back at 2,000. And even selling at 3,190, seeing that you could have sold at 38, oh well. And then you see you can buy here at 2,000 or 2,100, great. But then you come in, oh, I'm going to sell at 37. Yeah, you're not buying back, at least not anytime soon. Oh, you're going to sell at 58, same thing. Oh, you're selling any of these highs. Oh, you're selling 12.8. You're selling at 17. Well, now you get some buybacks. So when it went up, your portfolio was doing magnificent and your altcoins were getting hammered in how many you had. But hey, when this was going down, two things happened. The amount of altcoins you owned increased. As well, the portfolio is getting destroyed. At least from where it came from, it is. But I can assure you that when you look at what your portfolio was worth here at 33.86 compared to what it was when it was breaking away from 33.86, at least for the OK cash segment of your portfolio, oh, it's doing much better. Yeah, because when you're selling at 12,000 and buying it back at 8,000 or whichever decent level you choose, that's going to be the case. So you wait some more, whatever, maybe a little bit of selling here, buying back here. You can see that selling the upper line and buying the lower line was doing pretty good for a while. And then when you bought here, well, that was it for the selling. And now you're starting to buy more. And of course, when you buy at, say, 2,300 and price goes up to 3,500, you're now getting close to the area of the 50% gain. So there's nothing wrong with having sell orders in here. So for me, I like to sell 22% of what I have at any position. So if I have 1,000 of whatever particular code, I'll be more than happy to sell about 220 of them there. And then when the price comes back down here, I can end up buying back maybe 260, 280, 320 of them, whichever number that I choose. And if I bought like obviously more here, I'll put another sell order in for this number, but instead of selling 220 like I did last time, then I will do so for a higher number. Furthermore, if I ever sell at a point where I'm bullish big time about something and it comes back, but it comes back to where you want to, 18 average of lows, it holds, it goes up, then, and I'm just going to draw an ABC pattern on a code that I have done nothing with for a while, PTC. I wonder if I should buy that or not. I haven't looked at this chart in a while until just now. I'll look into it. But if you're in a situation where, let's just find it on an old point. Let's just find one. Yeah, here's it right here. I was going to use a drawing tool, then I realized I could just find it. See, in a situation here, if I had a sell order, say at 42 that got successfully hit, and I'm very bullish about this for whatever reason, and I'm so bullish I'm buying back at the 18 average of closes. I'm not even waiting for the lows. And in this case, I'd say I'm right, because obviously I would have been. But what I'm stating here is I don't want to sell back again at 42. I want to sell for a decent leg higher, and this is the exact situation reason for. So if I bought, say, at 25, then I sold here at somewhere around 40. Maybe I put a buy order in for 30, but then I got really anxious and angsty here, and around 32, I'm like, heck, I'll just buy it back now. And I'd be happy again, like I stated, to do so. I'm scared of selling here because of exactly what I see. And I realize if I happen to put a sell order up here, then maybe it'll come back down to 39 or 40. And in this case, it didn't. But yeah, so that's one way of looking at it. I got other codes I want to go over. So that's OK Cash, even though I'm currently looking at, this isn't Pathetic Coin, this is Pure Coin. I haven't looked at Pathetic Coin in quite some time. So let's now just fast forward this and go to PTC. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, I guess buy at previous low. Okay, so some other things that I did buy. XRP, and this is more of a, I guess I'm just going to do it because I don't have any. I bet about 65-70% of what I normally would in this situation. And, I mean, the setup. Support. Oh, decent rally. Oh, it's failing in here. Support. Not really. Resistance. Yeah. Resistance, yeah. Resistance, yeah. Okay, so resisting where it's supported, and I got a big number that I'm looking at 5,000. Why not just be patient? Well, maybe I should have. I bought very small amount, about 65% of a normal minimum unit. So I'm betting lower than a normal minimum size. But I'll be looking to buy bigger and that such around 5. And maybe another small amount at around 65, and then big at around 5. Okay, normally if I bet a minimum size or greater, then what I'm going to do is wait for a nice sell order, maybe next at around this previous high around 13. Can't do that here because I don't have that many. So if this thing has a decent gain and maybe makes it up to the point where we're looking at a 2x 100% move up to this previous congestion resistance point at around 16,000, then maybe I'll look to sell. However, if I get the buy it at 5,000 and I have a good size amount of Ripple, then I'll sell it like I normally will, 22% when there's a nice clear move above the 18 of highs. Let's take a look at some other things in which I bought. Myriad, just another small buy more on this. I just love this volatility because in situations like this, although I can't see, yeah, here we go. Didn't lose too much, but you go from 75 down to 30, your portfolio goes down, your altcoins go up, and then your portfolio gets amazing gains, but you lose out on coins. You might have lost them all and sold out of everything. Probably not for me. I probably would have been close. Maybe sell a little bit at 60, then again at 90, that's 2. Sell around 120, that's 3. Sell here for 4. I would have sold 4 to 5 times on a move like this. But when you do such, you don't have as many myriads or altcoins, and you have a much better position. So a decent amount of buybacks, and then I would definitely probably sell out up towards this high. And going up here, your portfolio does magnificent. Your altcoins gets depleted. Then the opposite, altcoins go up, portfolio goes down. One team goes, the team that brings it up. Another team goes, the team that brings it down. So the team that brings it down have been in control for a while. I don't believe they'll stay in control for the rest of this game. Give the bulls another shot at some point. I don't want to guess when, but for now, I'll have a sell order ready in at around 120, around that area, 124. 124 represents his previous resistance, but it's a decent move above the 18 average of highs, and it's a decent probability profit, or mathematical, not probability. It's a decent variant gain from 80, which is like 50-60%. That's what I'm looking for, decent variable increases. Vertcoin, this one I'm very enthusiastic about buying, and it's an okay decent sized buy as well, as it's at a key Fibonacci point. But as this thing was going higher, I accumulated this nicely, but I sold all of them off at time. I bought some of it back somewhat recently in here, and then I've put another decent buy in just now. I guess if it comes down to about 18, I'll put as just I'll buy 30% of what I got. That's my general buyback, is 30 to 35% of what I already own. So if I own 1,000, I'll buy 300 to 350 more. NXS, NXC, I got the buybacks. I sold this up here. I bought it back. NXC, sold up here. I just bought it back as well. Guppy, GUP, I got in here. Sold once, bought back. Sold again in here, bought back in here. And I'm buying some more again. I missed out on the game credits at the 17,000 Fibonacci level, so I'm buying back. I'm buying it now around 15,000. And if it comes back down to previous low at 10,000, that's about the mathematical difference I would want to have. So I'll buy again if it goes down to the 10. And if price action can find a way above the 18, I'll be a seller. 22% or so, decently above the 18 average of highs is how I start selling after I've been buying. And finally, just another buying more on ADA. I've been buying this starting somewhere back in here on this lower end and just buying it every bit lower. So another bit lower here in the 21s. I'll look to get in again around 1400 if it continues to decline. I'm still waiting for the bulls to take their turn. I'll patiently wait. Thank you for tuning in, and again, happy crypto day. Bye-bye.